Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Eid Mubarak to all of you, dear friends. First of all, I would like to say sorry to all of my viewers as I was not able to post any video from last 1.5 months as I was busy in working in my store and managing it. But as you know that these are the days of Hajj, and Muslims all over world are going to celebrate Eid tomorrow, inshallah, on 10th of July. And I'm sure that Muslim brothers and sisters are very well aware of this event, about its history, why we celebrate it, why the cattle are sacrificed on this day. But for our non-Muslim viewers, I think we should make a video so that we can explain the reason, the history behind this event, so that they will come to know about it. So let's begin with the topic without wasting any time. But before that, I would like to say that in Islam, there are two major festivals. First is the Eid al-Fitr, the festival of breaking of fast, which comes after the month of the fasting, which we call Ramadan. And the second festival, which is Eid al-Adha, the festival of the sacrifice, which is performed by pilgrims as a part of the devotion pertaining to the Hajj, and which is replicated by Muslims all over the world to coincide with the great event. This festival commemorates the willingness of the Prophet Ibrahim, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, to obey the commands of Allah, to sacrifice his son Ismail, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, and the Ismail's readiness to submit. Eid al-Adha begins on the 10th of the Dhul Hijjah, the last month of the Islamic calendar, and continues until the 12th day of the month. As I said, it is celebrated to commemorate the Prophet Ibrahim's readiness to sacrifice his son Ismail on the command of Allah. Allah has accepted Ibrahim's devotion and obedience and asked him to sacrifice a lamb instead. An account of this incident is given to us in the Holy Quran in chapter 37. As after escaping from his idolatrous tribe, who had thrown him into a fire for his refusal to worship anyone or anything except Allah, the one true God, the Prophet Ibrahim, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, turned to his master and maker for refuge and guidance. The following verse of the Quran gives us the rest of the narrative. And Quran speaks, and he said, surely I flee to my Lord. He will guide me. My Lord, grant me a doer of good deeds. So we gave him the good news of a forbearing son. But when he became of the age to work with him, he said, O my son, I have seen in a dream that I should sacrifice thee. So consider what thou seest. He said, O my father, do as thou art commanded. If Allah please, thou wilt find me patient. So when they both submitted, and he had thrown him down upon his forehead, and we called out to him, saying, O Ibrahim, thou hast indeed fulfilled the vision. Thus do we reward to the doers of the good. Surely this is a manifest trial. And we ransomed him in a great sacrifice. Chapter 37, verse 99 to verse number 107. This occasion of great importance comes every year during the days of the Hajj, which is a pilgrimage to Mecca, and is observed by offering congregational prayers as in Eid al-Fitr. After the prayer, the Muslims who can afford it sacrifice animals like goat, sheep or camel to seek the pleasure of Allah. The meat of the sacrificed animals is eaten and shared among the relatives and the neighbors and the poor. This sacrifice is expressed the inner feeling of the Muslim that if need be, he will sacrifice his most of the loved possession for Allah. This is the lesson of the occasion. We must remember here that what Allah wants is not the animal nor its meat or blood. Rather, he wants our devotion and submission to his commands. In this regard, the Holy Quran informs us as, And for every nation we appointed the act of devotion, that they may mention the name of Allah on what He has given them of the cattle. So your God is one God. Therefore, to Him you should submit, and give good news to the humbles, whose heart trembles when the name of Allah is mentioned, and who are patient in their afflictions, and who keep up prayers and spend of what we have given them. And the camels we have made them of the signs appointed by Allah for you. For you therein is much good, so mention the name of Allah on them, standing in a row. Then when they fall down on their sides, eat of them and feed the contented one and the beggars. Thus has He made them subservient to you, that you may magnify Allah for guiding you aright, and give good news to those who do good to others. And the reference of this verse is chapter 22, verse number 34 and 37. Now, according to Maulana Muhammad Ali, it will thus be seen that Islam has invested the principle of sacrifice with a new meaning. The institute of sacrifice has been accepted in one form or another by all the nations of the world, like all other religious principles which are universally recognized. The principle of sacrifice finds a deeper meaning in Islam. The outward act is still there as of old, but it no longer conveys the meaning attached to it in some ancient religions, namely that that of appeasing an offended deity or serving as an atonement for the sin. In Islam, it signifies the sacrifice of the sacrificer himself, and thus becomes an outward symbol of his readiness to lay down his life and to sacrifice all his interests and desires in the cause of truth. The animal that is sacrificed really stands for the animal in man, so that the outward sacrifice of the animal reminds man of the necessity for the sacrifice of the animal within him. And one day and one particular moment on that day is chosen so that all the Muslims' hearts from one end of the world to the another may pulsate with one idea at a particular moment, and thus lead to the development of the idea of the self-sacrifice in the community as a whole, religion of Islam. I think this is enough for the day. Inshallah, I will try to continue posting videos on different topics, and Eid Mubarak again to all of you, and Waqru Dawana Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalam.